Ever walked into a room and thought, wow, that wallpaper really makes this space, but like behind that perfectly hung wallpaper is a paper hanger supervisor.
The unsung hero of interior design.
Yeah, exactly. They are. So today we're diving deep into what it takes to land this role. We've got some awesome resources from the career platform RoleCatcher. We've got interview questions, industry insights, even AI tools to help you nail your prep.
We are going to arm you with the knowledge and strategies to showcase that in your interview.
Exactly. So whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, let's unpack RoleCatcher's insights and get you interview ready. Let's start with the basics, that common question. Can you tell us about your experience as a paper hanger? It seems simple, but what are they really looking for?
This is your chance to lay the foundation. They're looking for a concise summary of your relevant experience, highlighting those foundational skills. Think about the projects you've tackled, the techniques you've mastered, any challenges you've overcome. Really paint a picture of your capabilities.
So it's not just about listing jobs. It's about showcasing your expertise. What if they follow up with, what's the most challenging aspect of paper hanging you've encountered, and how did you handle it?
Now they're digging deeper into your problem-solving skills. Choose a specific example that demonstrates your ability to think critically on your feet. It could be a tricky wall surface, a complex pattern match, or even a demanding client. Walk them through your process, how you assess the situation, the steps you took to overcome the challenge, and the outcome you achieved.
So it's about showing you can handle those curveballs, which every paper hanger supervisor faces. RoleCatcher's guide mentions the increasing use of digital printing and wallpaper. That seems relevant here, right?
Absolutely. Imagine the interviewer asks about industry trends, and you're able to discuss how digital printing is changing the game. It shows you're not just skilled, but informed and forward-thinking. You could even mention the need to stay updated on color calibration and software specific to digital prints, demonstrating you're ahead of the curve.
That's a great tip. Okay, let's move on to a question that focuses on your organizational skills. How do you ensure that the paper hanging process runs smoothly? What's the strategy here?
They want to see that you can plan, organize, and execute a project efficiently. Describe your process step by step. How do you communicate with the team delegate, tasks, monitor progress, and ensure quality control? A real-life example of how you kept a project on track despite unexpected hiccups would be a powerful way to illustrate your approach.
So it's about demonstrating those core project management skills that every supervisor needs. RoleCatcher actually highlights these stages of project management in their career guide, right?
Exactly. They break down the process into clear phases, and this can be a valuable framework to use when structuring your answers.
Right.
Referencing these stages can show that you've done your homework and understand the industry best practices.
Great point. Let's shift gears now to a crucial aspect of the job safety. How do you ensure that safety standards are met during the paper hanging process? This one seems pretty straightforward, but what are some nuances we should consider?
Safety is paramount, and they want to see that you take it seriously. Go beyond the obvious by highlighting your proactive approach. Conducting risk assessments, providing thorough safety training for your team, regularly inspecting equipment and work areas, and swiftly addressing any violations. Having a specific example of a time you had to address a safety issue and the actions you took will demonstrate your commitment.
So it's about showing you're not just following rules, you're actively creating a safety-first culture. Thinking about this, I'm curious about how RoleCatcher's AI tools could help with crafting these answers. They talk about tailoring your responses to specific job roles, right?
Exactly. Their AI analyzes the job description, the company, even competitor information to help you fine-tune your answers.
Wow.
It can suggest specific keyword skills to emphasize and even provide feedback on your delivery. Imagine practicing your safety answer, and the AI points out that you didn't mention using specific safety checklists. That kind of insight can be incredibly valuable.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Okay, let's dive into another question that really gets to the heart of problem solving. Can you describe a difficult paper hanging project you have worked on and how you overcame any challenges? What makes this question a potential minefield, and how can we navigate it successfully?
It's tempting to choose a project that went perfectly, but that won't showcase your problem-solving skills.
Right.
Instead, select a project that presented unique challenges. Maybe it involved unusual architectural features, a particularly demanding client, or unforeseen material issues.
So choose a story that highlights your ability to think on your feet and find creative solutions. What kind of follow-up question could they ask to probe this further?
They might ask, what was the biggest lesson you learned from that experience, and how has it influenced your approach to similar situations?
Huh.
This tests your ability to reflect on challenges and apply those lessons to future projects, demonstrating a commitment to continuous improvement.
That's a great point. It's not just about fixing the problem, it's about learning from it and growing as a supervisor. Let's move on to a question that often trips people up. How do you ensure your team is motivated and working effectively? This one delves into leadership, which can be tricky to articulate. What's the secret sauce here?
This is all about your leadership style and your ability to create a positive and productive work environment. It's not about giving orders, it's about inspiring and empowering your team. Highlight your approach to setting clear goals, providing regular feedback, recognizing achievements, and fostering open communication.
So it's about creating a culture of respect and collaboration where everyone feels valued and motivated to contribute their best. What kind of follow-up question could they ask to assess your leadership style in action?
They might ask, describe a time when you had to motivate a team member who was struggling. What strategies did you use? This allows you to showcase your empathy and ability to tailor your leadership approach to individual needs. Maybe you provided additional training, offered encouragement, or adjusted their responsibilities. It's about showing you care about your team's success, not just meeting deadlines.
That's a fantastic insight. Speaking of RoleCatcher's career guide, they actually have some great examples of how experienced supervisors have motivated their teams right.
They do. They profile individuals at various career stages, sharing their strategies and experiences.
Okay.
One thing I found insightful was how they emphasized building relationships with their team members. It's not just about being a boss, it's about being a mentor and a leader who inspires trust and respect.
Okay, let's tackle another tricky one. How do you manage conflicts or disagreements within your team? Conflict is inevitable, so how do you demonstrate that you can handle it effectively?
Emphasize your proactive approach to conflict resolution. Explain how you foster open communication, encourage active listening, and create a safe space for team members to voice their concerns. It's about mediating, facilitating dialogue, and finding solutions that benefit the team as a whole.
So it's about being a peacemaker and finding that win-win solution. What kind of follow-up question could they ask to assess your conflict resolution skills in a real-world scenario?
They might ask, describe a specific conflict you resolved within a team. What were the challenges and how did you navigate them? This allows you to demonstrate your ability to analyze a conflict, identify the root cause, and implement a resolution strategy. Be specific about the steps you took, the challenges you faced, and the positive outcome you achieved.
That's a great tip. It's about showing you can handle those tough conversations and create a harmonious work environment. Let's move on to a question that focuses on staying ahead in a constantly evolving field. How do you stay up to date with new techniques and trends in the paper hanging industry? What's the best way to showcase your commitment to professional development?
The interviewer wants to see that you're not complacent and are actively seeking ways to expand your knowledge base. Highlight your engagement with industry resources, such as attending trade shows and conferences, subscribing to professional journals, participating in online forums, and networking with other professionals.
So it's about showcasing your genuine interest in the field and your dedication to continuous learning. I'm curious, though, about how RoleCatcher's AI tools could help with this question. They analyze specific job descriptions, right?
They do. And in this case, the AI could scan the job description for keywords related to specific techniques or industry trends.
Oh, wow.
Maybe they're looking for someone familiar with eco-friendly wallpaper options or the latest advancements in adhesive technology. The AI could flag those keywords, prompting you to research and incorporate them into your answer.
That's incredibly helpful. It's like having a personal research assistant guiding your prep. Okay, let's dive into a question that's essential for any supervisor role. How do you manage budgets and ensure that projects are delivered within budgets? What are the key points to emphasize when answering this question?
This question assesses your financial acumen and ability to manage resources effectively. Highlight your experience in creating detailed project budgets, tracking expenses, and making adjustments as needed to stay on track. Showcase your understanding of cost control measures and your ability to balance quality with financial constraints.
It's about demonstrating that you can be both creative and fiscally responsible. What kind of follow-up question could they ask to delve deeper into your budget management experience?
A good follow-up would be, describe a time when you had to make difficult decisions to keep a project within budget. What were the trade-offs and how did you justify your choices? This allows you to showcase your decision-making process and your ability to prioritize effectively while maintaining transparency with stakeholders.
That's a great point. It's about showing you can make those tough calls while keeping everyone informed and the project moving forward. All right, let's wrap up this section with another crucial aspect of a supervisor's responsibilities. How do you ensure your team is complying with health and safety regulations? What's the key to conveying your commitment to safety?
This question underscores the importance of safety as a non-negotiable aspect of your leadership. When answering, emphasize your proactive approach to safety training, regular safety meetings, on-site inspections, and clear communication of safety procedures. You want to demonstrate that you create a culture where safety is everyone's responsibility, not just an afterthought.
Absolutely. And since we're all about those insightful follow-up questions, how about this one? Have you ever had to deal with a safety incident on a job site? How did you handle it, and what were the key takeaways?
This follow-up allows you to demonstrate your ability to respond effectively to a crisis situation. Choose an example that highlights your leadership problem-solving skills and commitment to learning from experience. Describe the incident, the steps you took to mitigate the situation, and the measures you implemented to prevent similar incidents in the future.
That was a fantastic deep dive into some common interview questions for aspiring Paperhanger supervisors. We covered a lot of ground, and I'm sure our listener has some great takeaways to ponder.
Absolutely.
What do you say we move on now to explore how RoleCatcher's AI tools can take your interview prep to a whole new level?
Sounds great. Let's do it. Before the break, we tackled some tough interview questions for aspiring Paperhanger supervisors. Now let's talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can be your secret weapon in this process.
And here's where things get really strategic. They emphasize focusing 75% of your prep on those questions, which we just did, but the remaining 25% is where their tech really shines.
Mm-hmm. You've got the raw talent and the experience. Now, RoleCatcher helps you package it perfectly for this specific job, not just generic advice.
Right. Their AI analyzes the job description, the company, even competitor info, to help tailor your resume and answers in a way that algorithms and humans will love.
It's like having a personalized research team working behind the scenes. Imagine knowing exactly what skills to emphasize, what keywords to sprinkle in all, based on data, not guesswork.
They don't stop at resume tweaks either.
Yeah.
Their AI also helps you practice your interview answers and provides feedback on your delivery.
Right.
It's like having a virtual coach in your pocket.
This is particularly valuable for those tricky behavioral questions like, tell me about a time you failed. AI can help you structure your response, highlight the key takeaways, and ensure you're conveying the right message.
So you're not just practicing, you're practicing smart. You're getting data-driven insights to make your answers as impactful as possible. And the best part, you can sign up for a free RoleCatcher account right now and start exploring these features.
Think of it as an investment in your future. Even if you're not actively job hunting, familiarizing yourself with these tools can give you a competitive edge when the time comes.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's circle back to some key takeaways from RoleCatcher's Career Guide. One thing that struck me while reading this was their emphasis on adaptability. The industry is constantly evolving with new materials, technologies, and design trends all the time. A successful supervisor needs to be a lifelong learner, embracing change, and seeking out opportunities to expand their skill set.
Absolutely. They also highlight the importance of communication and leadership skills. You're not just working with wallpaper, you're leading a team, interacting with clients, and coordinating with other tradespeople.
It's about being able to clearly articulate your vision, delegate tasks effectively, and inspire your team to do their best work. A strong leader fosters a positive and collaborative work environment where everyone feels valued and respected.
And let's not forget about problem solving. RoleCatcher emphasizes that this is a core competency for any supervisor. Things don't always go according to plan on a job site, so you need to be able to think on your feet, find creative solutions, and keep the project moving forward.
What I found intriguing in these RoleCatcher profiles is how they emphasize not just technical skill, but client communication. That's a key insight often overlooked in job guides.
Right. It's about understanding that you're not just hanging wallpaper, you're creating experiences. Building relationships with the clients, understanding their vision, and managing their expectations is crucial for success in this role.
All right, ready for the final piece of the puzzle. RoleCatcher offers some fantastic tips on how to make your resume stand out and land that interview. They even have AI-powered tools that can help you tailor your resume to specific job descriptions.
And remember, your resume is your first ambition. It's your chance to showcase your skills and experience in a way that grabs the attention of potential employers. Use strong action verbs, quantify your accomplishments whenever possible, and highlight your most relevant skills.
Okay, let's pretend you've landed the interview. What are some things you can do to make a lasting impression and increase your chances of getting hired?
Preparation is key. Research the company, understand their values, and be prepared to articulate how your skills and experience align with their needs. Practice your answers to common interview questions, and don't be afraid to ask insightful questions of your own. It shows you're engaged and genuinely interested in the opportunity.
And don't forget about the nonverbal cues. Dress professionally, make eye contact, and project confidence. A firm handshake and a genuine smile can go a long way in creating a positive first impression.
And most importantly, be authentic. Let your passion for the craft shine through and be enthusiastic about the opportunity to contribute your skills and expertise to the team.
That's some excellent advice. So what stood out to you from our deep dive into the world of Paperhanger Supervisors? What one action will you take today to prep for your interview?
We've covered a lot of ground today, from analyzing interview questions to exploring how RoleCatcher's AI can give you a competitive edge in your job search. But the key takeaway is this: a career as a Paperhanger Supervisor is more than just a job. It's an opportunity to be a leader, a problem solver, and an artist transforming spaces and bringing designs to life.
And with the right preparation and mindset, you can ace that interview and embark on a rewarding and fulfilling career.
Remember, you're not just putting up wallpaper, you're building spaces and leading a team to do it flawlessly. Carry that mindset into your interview, and you'll be unstoppable.
All right, let's bring it all home. We analyzed those 9 key interview questions from RoleCatcher, explored the world of Paperhanger Supervisors, and even touched on how AI can boost your prep. But now it's about you owning those answers.
Think of it like this. We've given you the ingredients, the recipe, now you become the chef. It's time to take those insights and cook up some amazing responses that will wow those interviewers.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
So quick recap of the questions, then we'll give you some homework to make it stick. First up, that classic opener. Can you tell us about your experience as a paperhanger?
Don't just list jobs here. Think about projects where you learned something valuable, overcame a tough challenge, or maybe even exceeded expectations. Make it a story, not a resume bullet point.
Next, they'll likely ask, how do you ensure that the paper hanging process runs smoothly? This is where your organizational skills come in.
Have a clear process in mind. How do you plan, communicate, delegate, and keep things on track? And have that real-life example ready showing how you handled a surprise delay or a last-minute change without missing a beat.
Safety is always a big one. When they ask, how do you ensure that safety standards are met during the paper hanging process?
Yeah.
What's the best approach?
Be specific. Mention risk assessments, the type of training you provide your team, regular equipment checks, and yes, have that story ready where you spotted a safety violation and addressed it head-on. Shows you're serious.
Now for the question that separates the pros. Can you describe a difficult paper hanging project you have worked on and how you overcame any challenges? This one can make or break you.
Choose a project that really tested you and walk them through your thinking, how you analyzed the problem, the creative solutions you came up with, and what you learned from the whole experience. This is your chance to shine.
Moving into leadership territory now. How do you answer? How do you ensure your team is motivated and working effectively? That's a tough one.
It's about more than just setting goals. Talk about how you build a positive team culture, how you give recognition, how you support those who are struggling. Have an anecdote ready of how you motivated someone who is having a tough time.
Conflict is inevitable, so they'll likely ask, how do you manage conflicts or disagreements within your team? How can you demonstrate you're a peacemaker?
Focus on open communication, active listening, and finding solutions that work for everyone. And have that story ready of a time you successfully navigated a team conflict, highlighting the steps you took to resolve it.
To show you're not stuck in the past, they'll want to know, how do you stay up to date with new techniques and trends in the paper hanging industry?
Don't just say you read magazines. Mention specific trade shows, online forums, or even a recent innovation that has you excited. It shows you're genuinely passionate about the evolving world of wallpaper.
Budget management is crucial. When they ask, how do you manage budgets and ensure that projects are delivered within budget? How do you show you're fiscally responsible?
Be detailed. Talk about your process for creating budgets, tracking expenses, making tough choices when needed. And have that story ready where you had to get creative to stay on budget without compromising quality.
And last but not least, that all-important safety question. How do you ensure that your team is complying with health and safety regulations?
This is about demonstrating that safety is woven into everything you do. Talk about regular training site inspections, clear communication, and yes, have that anecdote ready of how you handled a safety incident, what you learned, and the steps you took to prevent it from happening again.
Wow, that was a whirlwind. Feeling a bit overwhelmed. Don't worry, here's your action plan.
For each of those 9 questions, jot down bullet points hitting those key aspects we just discussed.
Then this is crucial practice, saying them out loud as if you were in the interview room. This makes it stick in your memory way better than just reading.
And pro tip, record yourself if you can. It might feel awkward at first, but it helps you refine your delivery, catch any rambling, and boost that confidence. Remember, practice makes perfect.
Now remember that 75-25 split RoleCatcher mentioned? Well, you just nailed the 75%. Now head over to RoleCatcher and create that free account. Their AI can help with that remaining 25%, tailoring your resume, practicing answers with feedback, and getting you ready to stand out from the crowd.
So there you have it. We've given you the tools, the insights, and the inspiration to conquer that Paperhanger Supervisor interview. Good luck out there.
Remember, it's not just about putting up wallpaper. It's about leadership, craftsmanship, and transforming spaces. Carry that passion with you and you'll be unstoppable.